Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For this video, we're going to be talking with my match review and play ratings for the Tottenham versus Brighton game, which ended in a last minute winner for Spurs with a 2-1. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it. First half, the first 15-20 minutes, Spurs were not great. We were not great, you know. You could see that at like start of the match, because obviously within the first minute, Van der Ven sort of loses the ball, and that ends up with Welbeck having a shot at goal and Vicario making a brilliant save. And then throughout those sort of first 20 minutes or so, you had Richarlison constantly with the loose passes. Some even like him kicking straight out of play, and it ends up with a throw to Brighton. So you could see things were not going great for Spurs, and there was just a lot of constant losing the ball, like players not being on it, and the midfield was a problem. Obviously Bentancur, his part, like other than like the Man United game, I think these last few performances he has been not great, and he got caught in the ball, which ended up Brighton win the ball back just outside of our box, which leads to Van der Ven giving away a penalty. Now, for me, I don't really consider it, like, I feel like it's debatable. I feel like, yes, it catches him on the foot, you know. Is it enough to make him Welbeck go down? No. But I feel like in that instance, there's contact. The majority of the decisions is going to be a penalty. Like, whether, you know, it's going to end up being a penalty. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. Like, regardless, whether I actually think like it should be a penalty or not is irrelevant. But I feel like those situations, penalty. And you're thinking, oh god, okay, so a penalty's given. I think, is it Gross takes it, ends up scoring, says Vicario the wrong way. Then after that, Spurs improved. We got better. We were more on the front foot, you know. We actually played decent. We had a few chances. Richarlison obviously had a couple of chances. Maddison had a really good chance when he I would say it was like half a chance, but the way it was so like close to like curling into the top corner was close. With Brighton, I feel like they had one more. They had another chance with Matoma, where Vicario again made a brilliant save. But for that first half, I feel like Spurs were the better side. Just like, obviously the first 20 minutes, we can, like, obviously Brighton were the better side, and we were sort of struggling a bit with like keeping hold of the ball, getting it to our front players. But after they scored that penalty, I feel like Spurs sort of were improved a lot, and was like really the team that was, you know, looked like they would have scored. And I feel like some of the chances we had, we probably should have scored. We probably should have equalised a lot sooner than we did. But with that first half, it was just, I don't know what it was. It's like it took us to concede for us to sort of, you know, get better, and I don't know what that is. Obviously there's a few factors it could be, you know, players trying to get back to the sharpness. Obviously Maddison and Bentancur are two of those. And then, you know, yeah, it's just unfortunate that it took us to concede for us to sort of go on the front foot, and, you know. So to be honest, I don't think we was as bad as the reaction was at half-time. I think because of the result at that time, it's like being 1-0 down, people just saw that, like, were looking more at the result than the actual performance itself. Which I think is easy to do, but I don't think it was as bad as the reaction was. And I was just like, yeah, you know, we've had the better of the chances. Obviously, Vicario's made 2 great saves. I think that's all he had to do, other than like penalty. Like, Brighton weren't really threatening us that much, apart from those like 2 situations. And all they scored from was a penalty. Like, from open play, I feel like we were quite solid defensively, and I feel like we played quite well. For Romero, you know, the first half, Van der Ven, like, obviously Van der Ven gave it a penalty, but other than that, I feel like he was quite solid. And then it's half time, and you're thinking, okay, so it's just only 1-0. They literally just scored from a penalty. We could have easily got back into the game with the chances we had. We just need to, you know, really go for it in the second half. I felt like half time, Son and Bissouma could have come on. I feel like Bentancur, maybe for the time being, just needs to come off from the bench just to get up his shot, just to, you know, get some minutes, but also get his like his sharpness up. And I feel like that is kind of what I expected from half time. I thought maybe Andrew would make some subs. He didn't. Came out with the same start 11, which I was like, okay, maybe we'll see another like a 15-20 minutes, and then we'll see some subs. The one thing I did like coming out at half time was Bissouma really, like, you're giving pep talk to Bentancur, and I felt like Bentancur in the second half really improved. and he, you know, he really, you know, he stepped up his game, and maybe that talk from Basuma helped him, and he was able to sort of keep control of the ball, and just really, you know, step up his game, which we've needed to. We haven't really seen the Bentancur of what we know Bentancur to be, but I think people, like fans, are forgetting he literally has not played that much football. Like he had an ACL injury, he came back earlier than he should have done, and then he got an ankle injury, so he was out for like, I think it was what, a month or so. So it's kind of to be expected that he's not gonna be Bentancur before his injury. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just gonna bring this up now because we'll talk about Bentancur, but I saw his tweet that said that we should sell him. What? Sell him? What? I don't understand this. It's like a player has a few bad games. It's like the Indian response: sell him, sell him, sell him. He's not good enough. Sell him. It's like what? Like what are you talking about? Did you forget that he had ACL injury? Do you forget that like that's gonna take a long time for him to get back to like how he plays, and like it's gonna take him quite a while to, you know, get past that and sort of his injury. Like ACL injury is nothing to be like, oh, ACL, like ACL injury is like serious, and it's just like he was out for a long ass time. He's barely played any football, so obviously it's going to take him time to, you know, sort of get back to his best. And then you got like I feel like just one tweet from this fan saying that we should sell him. I don't understand that. Like a player has like it's not that he's been bad. Like to be honest, it's not even like he's been like bad. He just hasn't been sharp. You know, his performances haven't been dreadful. It's not like, I'm trying to give an example, but it's not like like Dyer's like performances or like performances like in the past. Like it's been quite decent. It's just a couple of times he gets caught in the ball and gives away possession and whatnot. But it's gonna take time, and I feel like people need to remember that he did just come back from an ACL injury. You know. And it's just frustrating to see that this all well, not even comments, but just one tweet saying that we should sell him. I don't understand that with just fans in general. It's like a player has a few bad games and it's like we need to sell him. Like not every player is gonna have a brilliant performance every game. Do you know what I mean? So it's just ridiculous. A bit of a reaction that we saw. Anyways, second half, Spurs were a lot better. We came out on the front foot, you know, playing a lot better, we're getting the ball to the front players a lot more easier. I feel like everyone stepped up that game. I thought Kulusevski, he was really getting into the game. He was unfortunate to get subbed off when he did. Obviously his first half wasn't great from him, but I felt like that pass to Sarr for our first goal, my god, what a pass that was. And I feel like Sarr did well. It's great. Richarlison dunk blocked it and it hit the post, and then it came off, and then Sarr finished from a really good sort of what brilliant from Sarr though. The way he's run in the first place, and the way he's just able to take that shot on, and the way he jumped over the barrier to go to the Spurs fans in that like the south stand. I was like, that was so cute to see everyone like hugging him, and obviously he got booked for it. This is one thing I don't like about booking. It's like, why are you getting booked for a celebration? Like, please be for real now. Like, just it's so annoying. Anyways, I just think it's a ridiculous rule to get booked for a celebration. Like, yeah, I understand he jumped the barrier and whatnot, and he's going to see the fans, but like, just shut up. And yeah, after that, you're thinking, okay, and then obviously, Ange was bringing on 3 substitutions. We had Son, Basuma, and Johnson to come on, and you're thinking, okay, we just scored a brilliant goal. We got back into this game, exactly what we needed. Was it like 61st? No, was it the 61st minute we scored? I think it might have been the 61st minute or something. Running out. I think, okay, we're in on these players now. We're really gonna go for it. Like we're gonna win this. Like we're gonna score more goals. Like we're gonna go for it. Subs come on. I feel like Kulusevski was unfortunate to come off, but I feel like Bentancur coming off was a good thing. Werner also came off, I think. And you're thinking, okay, we've got Sonny on. We've got these players, and it's just we've got to really go for it. For some reason, that didn't happen. We sort of. Brighton came out a bit more, and they started playing how they were playing in the first 20 minutes of the first half. And they were really going for it. I was thinking, Spurs, what are you doing? Like, you literally just scored an equaliser. Why are you letting Brighton have the ball? Why can't you kick the ball? Why are you giving it away? Why are you giving away cheap possession? Like, what's going on? And that happened for like the last sort of 20 minutes or so. Yeah. And I was just like, what was that? That was where I was my most frustrated at that point, was when we kept giving the ball away and we just could not keep it. And it's like we just scored an equaliser and it's Brighton going for the winner, and you're thinking, oh, they had like that chance with is it a new start, something like that, which was close. And you're thinking, oh my god, Spurs, please wake up, please wake up. Like you got those players on, you brought Son on, like just wake up. And just for some reason, like it's sort of like we retreated and we just weren't really, no Spurs player was making any runs, and it just wasn't good. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like why are we playing like this now? We literally just scored an equaliser. And Son came on, you know, he riled up the crowd and he was like giving all this, and it's like, and then I don't know why, I don't know what it was. It was really weird to see us like sort of retreat and like not, I don't know, it was weird. Anyways, so that happened for like the last sort of 20 minutes, and then we get to extra time and it's like 6 added minutes or whatever. And you're thinking, okay, 6 added minutes, come on, like we need to get this winner here. Like this is a must-win game. Like we need to win this game. Obviously, conceding a last-minute equaliser against Everton, this is a game that we need to win. So coming towards that, and Spurs, they actually put a good move together. Started with Maddison breaking the lines, a ball to Richarlison passed it to Sonny, and my god, Sonny, what a world-class, like he squared it to Johnson and Johnson put it in. My god, I was so excited about that. Like I was so happy, like my god. But Sonny is world-class. Like we know this, Spurs fans know that Sonny is world-class. But the way he was able to run on that, the way he was running, and he was able to like cross it, and it was a perfect ball to Johnson, and Johnson just put it away. Brilliant for Johnson to get his confidence up. And we score a last-minute winner, which was just, oh my god, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my god, just blow the whistle, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. You're thinking they get a corner, their goalkeeper comes up. I mean, Ange said it in press conference that we're going to be a team that scores last-minute goals. We're going to be a team that concedes last-minute goals. And like we've been showing the proof in the past 2 previous games, Everton and like Brighton. But to come away with a win, which we really desperately needed, obviously puts us back into the top 4. Obviously with Aston Villa losing, that keeps us in top 4 for that this week, and then yeah. But like I was surprised that it was like our third sort of last minute win. It's like it's always at the South Stand, and it's always like it goes insane, and it's just like the performance itself wasn't like brilliant. A lot to improve on, and I feel like we're going to see that like as the team, like we finally have our full team apart from like Solomon, and you know he'll be back 2 3 weeks. So, but to have all these like Son back, Maddison back, Bentancur back, obviously Bentancur didn't really play a part in those first 10 games, so that's gonna be important. We've got Basuma, we've got Romero, Van der Ven, and then we've actually got depth on the bench. Like it's insane. Like some players that couldn't even make it onto the bench because we are like full fit squad back. And yeah, like I said, it wasn't like a brilliant performance. Maybe I was expecting a bit more in that first half. Maybe a bit more after we can like equalise. But if we can get 3 points playing like that, just imagine how we're going to be performing when like everyone's sort of getting back to sharpness. And I think we're going to start seeing more improvements in the performances, obviously, as the players start to train together. Obviously, before like Maddison and Bentancur never started together, and it's going to take time. But like if we can keep improving the performances, if Johnson can get more confidence, Richarlison can keep on doing what he's doing, Son back isn't like Son, just like having Son back is like, even just his presence is just like amazing to have, and I love Sonny. Other than that, overall I feel like Brighton didn't really threaten that much, other than like the first 2 saves Brighton made. They had the penalty, and like I feel like Spurs had more of the quality chances and we created more, we had more shots, and people would like to say that we were lucky. Like I feel like any sort of last minute sort of situation can be lucky. I feel like in football, luck is like every team goes through those periods. Every team has those things where it's like lucky, like it's got like it's just a thing. But with Spurs, keep going to the end. Whatever the scoreline is, whether you're winning 1-0, whether you're winning 3-0, like you keep going for that, keep going for more goals. I feel like with Ange, that's just the thing that we're going to do. Like attack is the best form of defence, and I feel like if we can keep And I feel like his comments previously, the way he was just like, when he said like, we're going to be a team that concedes late goals, we're going to be a team that scores late goals. I feel like if Spurs are able to keep the ball better, keep possession, keep passing, and are just better in that aspect, then the likelihood is we're gonna score more goals than concede. So I was alright with his comments. I was like, you know what? We've had the Contes, we've had the Mourinho's, we've had the Nuno's, we'll just sit back. We sit back on a 1-0. And the amount of fans, like, obviously I was one of them, like, complaining about us sitting back. It's like, we're just bringing on pressure from the other team. But now we're doing the opposite. It's like, yeah, but we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. Like, if we were playing a bit better, then maybe fans, like, the first 10 games of the season, we're seeing out games, like, we were managing games as well, like, really well. So I feel like maybe that also has something to do with it. But it's just funny to see how fans are so wish-washy. It's like, yeah, we don't want to be sitting back, but also, no, we need to be sitting back because we could concede. And it's like, what do you actually want? Anyways, so that is my match review for the Spurs-Brighton game. Now we're going to be moving on to my player ratings. For Vicario, I gave Vicario a 9. I felt like other than the penalty, and he, you know, he was barely threatened. Obviously, he made good saves from Matoma, a good save from Welbeck. Other than that, he wasn't really threatened that much, but I felt like what he needed to do done well. His passing out from the back, I felt maybe there were occasionally a few times where he sort of passed the ball to like Bentancur, for example, and it maybe wasn't the brilliant pass. But I feel like in previous games, Bentancur would have been able to deal with that. He would have been able to, like, you know, turn and be able to shift the ball. And I feel like just because he's getting back to like sharpness and he's not fully sharp yet, it's going to take time. But yeah, for me, Vicario, I felt like he had a decent display. Didn't really put a foot wrong, really. And his celebration when our winner went in, he just gets it. He's just like every Spurs fan. Moving on to Romero, I thought Romero was probably one of the player of the matches. Romero for me gets a 9. Defensively solid. His aggressiveness and his assertiveness at the back really like I feel like he like travels through the squad and like it just gets everyone feeling that way. And I feel like that he's such like an attacker centre back. Like I feel like there's not really a centre back in the league like Romero. And people want to talk about his rashness. People want to talk about, oh, is this his dad? He gets like red cards. It's like he's got 1 red card this season. Like other players have got red card this season. So calm down. And I feel like it's just his ability on the ball to be like aggressive, play on the front foot, get forward. You will see like Romero in the other in the opposition's third half. Like that's hilarious. And yeah, he just had a brilliant display. And Romero, I feel like Romero is probably one of the most important players we have in this squad. So yeah, Romero for me, he could have been player of the match, but there's quite a few players that could have been. Do you know what I mean? Moving on to Van de Ven. For me, Van de Ven gets an 8. Obviously, he did give them a penalty, so that sort of brings his mark down a little bit. But I feel like other than that penalty, he was really, really defensive solid, and just the way he's able to recover, like his pace is just like everything that we need. Like Van de Ven with his pace, like you can if you lose the ball, you know Van de Ven's gonna get back, he's gonna recover, and he's gonna, you know, he's gonna save you countless of times. Maybe if Spurs were able to keep the ball a bit better, then maybe he wouldn't need to make so many recovery runs. That's kind of something we need to improve on. But for me, Van de Ven, my God, how brilliant is to have him back, honestly. One of the best centre-backs in the league, hands down. The way he's what, 22? Like, it's crazy to think how he's just really, like, fully adapted to Premier League, like, just so quickly. And obviously, the partnership with him and Romero is just insane. And I do feel bad for Dragusin because, obviously, at the moment in time, he can't really get into the team because Romero and Van de Ven are playing so well. So it's like, I do feel bad on that part. But if we're in Champions League next season, can you, like, there's going to be more games, going to be, you know, more opportunities for other players to play. So, as long as we get that top 4 spot, it's going to be brilliant. Moving on to Porro. I gave Porro a 7. Like with Porro, you know, his performances recently, he hasn't been as attacking, and he hasn't really been, like, effective within that sort of attacking stance, really. Defensively, solid. Obviously, like, defensively, he's been really good. I feel like his sort of quality on better crossing and, like, his creativeness has kind of been lacking in the past sort of games. That's why he's sort of still, like, it's still a good display and whatnot. That's why he's got a 7. But I feel like we're just missing his creativity a bit when he goes forwards. And I'm just hopefully he gets that back. I feel like it's kind of the same with your doggy as well. So I gave your doggy a 7. I feel like both fullbacks defensively solid, but it's just like the going forward and the attacking threat that they carry has kind of been lacking slightly in the past couple of performances. But I'm sure they'll get it back. They both get a 7 from me. Now, Bentancur. I gave Bentancur a 7 as well. I feel like his performances in the first half, he wasn't so great. Second half, he really improved. First half, he just kept losing possession and getting caught on the ball. And obviously, he sort of led to that penalty be given. It's unfortunate. But, yeah. And I feel like some game, like, he was a bit quiet at times. He wasn't really able to dominate the midfield like he normally does. But second half, he really improved. Maybe that's talk with Basuma helped him, but he was more sharp. He really grew into the game, and yeah. So he was obviously there was one time where he nearly lost the ball, but then he was able to keep it. And I felt like him. Obviously, he lost the ball, and then he won it back, and I felt like he was like really, really on it. And so yeah, I feel like Bentancur, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Maybe he needs a period on just coming on as a sub. Maybe Basuma starting. Maybe that's what he'll need right now, just to, maybe get minutes, but also he doesn't really have to like start games. We don't really need like for him to be immediately on it. During as you start a game, you need that midfield to be on it straight away. So maybe coming on a sub later on in the game might help in a bit, like how we've seen with Johnson. So I would be surprised if Basuma comes in for Bentancur for Wolves. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that'd be good for him. Moving on to Sarr. Sarr was one of the rival play matches. He got a 9 from me. The ground Sarr covers, like you see, like his heat map, the way he runs, like he's everywhere. And I feel like he's the only really midfielder that we have that does that. So it's been brilliant to have him back. We definitely missed him when he was away. And for him to score that goal as well, he's adding goals to his game. And that run he made was really, really good. And I'm just so happy for him. The way he just, jumps into the crowd and it's just like he just getting hugs from everybody. But yeah, I felt like Sarr was really, for like 21-year-old. He's gonna be. I feel like he has that potential to be like a world-class player. Obviously he's not there yet. He's got a long way to go. But if he carries on the way he's like performing and like really like develops his game and whatnot, then he's gonna. My God, we have got a star in our hands. Obviously, he's star boy. It's a star boy, but yeah, I'm just so happy for him, and it's his 3rd goal of the season as well. I mean, he could have got an assist if if that dunk didn't block the ball, that Richarlison probably would have got tap in. But and the way he was able to score that goal, even from that angle, brilliant. And I just saw one of the best players on the pitch, hands down. Moving on to Maddison. I gave Maddison a 7. I feel like Maddison is still slowly his sharpness is coming back. Slowly he's improving. He's obviously not the Maddison of the first 10 games, but he's slowly working his way there. I felt like that pass for our 2nd goal was really, really important from him. He broke the lines and really set us on that attack. And, he's slowly getting there. He had that shot as well, which was just really close, just a bit wide. Obviously, I couldn't really give him any higher than really a 7. I felt like sometimes he hasn't been able to like dribble as well as he has. He hasn't really been able to hold on to the ball. I feel like quite a lot of our players at the Brighton game were just really like giving the ball away a lot and loose passing, and just our like sort of reaction time was slower than Brighton's, and it just caused Brighton to like be able to keep us back a lot. But Maddison, he obviously coming back from that injury, long time out. It's going to take him time. But you can see with each game, his sharpness is getting there. And I feel like the next 2 games are really vital and really important. Obviously, we've got Wolves on Saturday. And then there's like a 2-week period because we don't have to play Chelsea because they obviously got the Carabao Cup final. So there's like that 2-week period between the Wolves and Crystal Palace game, which I think is going to be really vital. And for that 2-week period, it's going to give our players a lot more time to sort of gel and a lot more time to, get back to it. And then I feel like Crystal Palace could be the game where we see our performances just go skyrocket, which I'm hopeful for, but we'll see. Moving on to Kulusevski, I gave Kulusevski a 6. Now, Kulusevski's performances for a while have not been great. I feel like the second half he sort of started growing into the game. Obviously, he made that brilliant pass to Son. Oh my god. I don't know if that counts if he got the assist or not. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? But that pass to Saar was just world class. I feel like it's not being spoken about enough. But for me, Kulusevski, I don't really know what's causing Kulusevski for his sort of lack performances recently. And I feel like the whole team is sort of suffering from like a kind of, you know, these kind of performances. But for Kulusevski, I feel like we need more from him. We need, you know, we need him to score more goals. We need him to, you know, be more creative. We need him to take on his man. Like, we need these things from Kulusevski. And I feel like right at this moment in time, he's not really, you know, delivering that. I guess you could say that for both wings, but I don't know. Maybe Kulusevski needs a bit of time out. I don't know. We just need both, like, because we've obviously got to have Son on the left. We just need a same quality from Kulusevski as we've got from Son. Obviously, Kulusevski's not going to be good at Son, obviously, because he's like younger and like Son's just world class. You know what I mean? But we just need a little bit more from Kulusevski. I feel like second half he was trying a bit more. He was unfortunate to get taken off when he did, and I thought, you know, he was really great into the game. But we just need that from the start. So for me, Kulusevski couldn't really get anything more than a 6, but I'm sure Kulusevski will improve. Moving on to Werner, I gave Werner a 6 as well. Basically he's similar to similar to Kulusevski. He doesn't really take on his man. Obviously he can use his pace quite a lot. But he's not really offering too much goal threat wise, and I'm not really going to put fully blame onto him. I feel like it was sort of just the front line and sort of like the midfield is like, you know, obviously Werner's still learning and still trying to like, so I feel like with like certain games where he sort of makes the runs and like he doesn't get found, and it's just quite annoying at times. But yeah, Werner and Kulusevski were kind of similar. They weren't really delivering. I feel like Werner wasn't really great from him. I'm just hoping that he can like improve his performances, and maybe if the whole team improves, then maybe that will give Werner that sort of, he'll improve the same. But I'm still like giving him time sort of to adapt to the way we play, and because it's a new team, figure out how each other play and like just figure out each other's games. So maybe I'm still giving Werner time. Like, he's literally alone. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's alone to the end of the season. Like, it's not a risk at all. But and maybe with Son back, he might be on the bench a bit more. So maybe he could be like an impact sub. I feel like that could be a good role. But we'll see. We'll see how it happens. Moving on to the last player of the starting 11, Richarlison. I gave a 7. I felt he was a lot more quiet in his game. Obviously, the first sort of period of the game, keeping the ball away, loose passing, you know, kicking the ball at the play, and it just really was really frustrating. And his hold up play was not great for the first half. I feel like that was slightly lacking. Yeah, so it's a bit unfortunate to see this performance of Richarlison, because obviously he's as brilliant. His form's been brilliant recently, where he's been like can't stop scoring. But yeah, he had that one chance which I feel like he should have done better from, but obviously it was a good save from the Brighton goalkeeper. But I feel like that maybe he could have done a bit more within that. Second half, I thought his hold-up play was a lot better. And obviously he made that pass to Son. He made it at the right time. He was like, I guess, the pre-assist. Yeah, so... So it wasn't brilliant from Richarlison. It was good, and I'm hoping that against Wolves we can see a bit more of improvement from just the whole team in general. Moving on to subs, I'm not going to give a rating to Davies or Højbjerg because obviously they came on around the 80th minute and they weren't really on that long. So I don't really feel like giving a rating because it's like, what, 16 minutes or so. But what it did do well was they able to control the game. For like latter stages, when we were able to get on the ball a bit more. So I didn't do anything, they didn't do anything really great, and they didn't really do anything wrong, but you know. Obviously Son, Johnson, Basuma came on same time. Son for me an 8. Oh my god, that world class assist. It's just so great to have Son back, and obviously I made that video about Son and hoping he wins the Asian Cup and whatnot, but it was, I just feel like without Son in that game, I don't know if we'd come away with a win. I don't know. It's just brilliant to have him back, and he was immediately on it, and I just love Sonny. Honestly, I can't stop saying that, but I just do. He's just, lifetime contract, please, lifetime contract for Sonny, because we just need that. I feel like he just brings his, like I said, his presence alone just brings a lot, and he's just a world-class player. So obviously with Son on the pitch, you always have that chance to win a game and whatnot. Johnson for me, I got a 7. I gave him a 7. Oh my god. But like, other than that goal, it wasn't like amazing from Johnson, if we're honest. But I feel like to get in the right position is like half the task, and to finish like he did, roof of the net, like amazing. And all that pressure on you, especially like he's had a lot of abuse from fans, if we're not gonna be real. Like, he's had to limit his comments on Instagram, like we know. So to be in that mindset and sort of the last kick of the game kind of, and to finish it like he did, I feel like he deserves credit, he deserves praise for that. And I feel like some fans, as much as you might think like he's not good enough and you feel like we should, you know, sell him or whatever, like, it's ridiculous, but you can still get credit even if you don't think he's good enough, you know what I mean? Like, you can still praise him for what he did. Like, he literally got us the winner. Like, you know, I just feel like it's ridiculous the amount of abuse Johnson gets. It's just, I don't like it. It pisses me off. I'm just like, please be for real. Please be for real. Like, criticise a player's performance, you know, fair enough. Like, whatever. But to directly go to, like, his comments and, like, abuse him, I just don't get it. I never will get it. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, other than that goal, you know, obviously Johnson didn't have a great performance, but he got us the winner. So, say what you like. And Basuma, I gave Basuma an 8. I feel like when he came on, he was able to be a bit more on the front foot than Bentancur was, and offer us the more, like, obviously it was a bit weird because when they came on, Brighton became more of an attacking team than we were. But I feel like Basuma really helped us, you know, winning the ball back and keeping Brighton out as much as possible. And I wouldn't be surprised if Basuma starts against Wolves. We've definitely missed him and what he can offer us. And obviously he's on better form than Bentancur at the moment, so, you know, either one of them, I'd be happy with side. So yeah, so those are my player ratings for the 2-1 win against Brighton. And yeah, be sure to let me know down below what you thought of the game, what player ratings you would give, what do you think our lineup should be for a Wolves game. Would you go with the same lineup, or do you think we should make some changes? Obviously, I feel like Son gonna start. Son's gonna come captain. Sonny gonna come straight into the side. And also Basuma. I feel like Basuma might start ahead of Bentancur, but who knows? And then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Bentancur starts like ahead of Basuma. Like, I don't know. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back for the Wolves game. My live watch along. I've got this week off, so obviously I was working yesterday, but I've got the rest of this week off, so more videos coming your way, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.